Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. I'm Layla Mukhaber, UNRWA USA's Director of Communications and your host of my Big Fat Palestinian Christmas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so happy you're here. I'm not sure how many of you celebrate, but as a Palestinian Christian, Christmas is one of my most favorite and most awaited holidays of the year. Christmas commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ in Bethlehem, in present-day occupied Palestine. And since we can't all be in Palestine for Christmas, we're doing our best to bring Palestine to you through a virtual music and food experience. Here to join me in welcoming you is Mara Cronenfeld, UNRWA USA's Executive Director. Welcome, Mara.
Hello, Layla, and I want to say that we are so delighted to welcome all of you who are tuned in from across the United States and across the world. We actually would love to know who is here, so if you are tuned in, please tell us where you are tuned in from, and maybe you could mention your favorite Palestinian food in honor of this wonderful event we're going to have tonight. So we'd love to hear from anybody. Please tell us where. And look, my friend Fadi, you are wonderful. You are always watching our events, so thank you so much, Fadi. Again, please tell us where you're from and what is your favorite Palestinian food. Fadi, you can start. And for anyone new to UNRWA USA, we want to make clear that you know that we are not actually the United Nations agency itself. We are a US chapter that works directly with the United Nations agency, but we are a community, we are a nonprofit and a community of people and partners committed to showing Palestine refugees that Americans do indeed care. We do this by lifting up the voices, the experiences, and the humanity of Palestine refugees to secure American support for resources that are essential to every human being for the promise of a better life. And our ultimate vision of UNRWA USA is, until there is a just solution to their plight, a world where Palestine refugees can thrive. Thank you so much, Layla.
Of course, and thank you, Mara. I see some comments here.
Oh, so cool, yeah.
We have so many people from San Jose, California, DC, San Francisco, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. We have Ridgefield, Connecticut, and people from across the world. What else do you see there, Mara?
I see a lot of really good food that's making my mouth water. We have musakhan, matlube. Thank you, Fadi. I had the best matlube this summer in Gaza. So a shout out to the Abu Hashim family if you're listening. Oh, this is wonderful. A lot of matlube.
I know, I see that. I see Canada. I see people from Niagara Falls, Seattle, Washington.
Elliot's here. Hello, Elliot. It's lovely to see you.
That's my bestie from the Westie.
Layla, Baba Albert may be online as well, I see.
Shout out to my parents. Shout out to my dad, who loves anything vegetarian, of course. And you're lucky. We have some vegan demos today. And you know what, Mara? I want to thank you so much. And I know that everyone here is eagerly waiting for what's to come. In just a few minutes, 6 of your favorite foodies from Jerusalem to DC will inject some joy and spice into all of our lives, with the hopes of bringing a month of food assistance from UNRWA to 25 refugee families in Gaza. I think that's a very achievable goal, and I hope you all can help us get there. Before we turn it over to our chefs, of course, a very special person is here, and they're here to get us in the spirit and dazzle us with Arab versions of your favorite Christmas tunes with a jazz twist. Nahar al-Reyes is not only part of our fundraising team, but a Palestinian composer, my fellow pianist, and someone who uses music to express his solidarity with Palestine. So if you can, please join Mara and I in welcoming Nahed.
Yay, Nahed.
Yay, thanks guys. Thank you, Layla. Thanks, Mara. I'm going to play my own rendition of We Wish You a Merry Christmas to get us started, but feel free to drop a comment with any other requests, and I will do my best.
Super stunning performance. I'm so moved, and I want a master class with you, Maestro. You know, if I was in front of a donate page, which I hope all the rest of you are, and I can make that link available to you really easily right here, UNRWAUSA.org/Christmas, I'd be giving all my money just for that music performance. So make sure you stick around till the end for more music from Nahed. That was just a teaser. And now I'd also like to welcome, I'm not sure if he's with us backstage yet, but we would love to welcome our Director of Philanthropy, Hani Al-Mantoun, who's everyone's favorite Palestinian from Gaza himself, to tell us how you can support Palestine refugees through today's virtual Christmas event. We'll give Hani a second to join us again. I don't think he's joined the backstage yet. In the moment, I don't know, Nahed, let's talk. Let's see what's happening in the comments. I see a lot of love for your music just now. Let's see. Oh my gosh, look at these comments. Do you see what people are saying?
You guys are too kind. No, I have to look at the YouTube comments. Oh, there we go. I got the tab open.
We're seeing so much love. People are saying Mumtaz and yeah, Nahed, and they want you to play Last Christmas. I don't know if you can do an Arab version of that, but I would be down to hear Last Christmas or This Christmas.
I don't think I know Last Christmas. I don't know I know the hits. Like I know.
Well, we'll get you to learn it for next Christmas. I see Hanny's here. Let's bring him on. Hey, Hanny.
Hi, how are you guys?
I'm good. I'm going to let you two take it away.
Great.
Great. Alrighty. Hanny, how are you doing today?
Good. Great performance. Layla, always amazing. Thank you guys. And I look forward to the rest of the program.
Yeah, I'm so glad everyone's joined us.
Great.
Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so today we're coming together, not just to enjoy the music and see some amazing Palestinian food and, hear really good music from Nahed, but, also to bring the gift of food to those who need it most, right? So we need to support Palestine refugees with food. We're not talking about the cruise ship here. We're talking about lifeboats. And this is the situation we're in. We have for more than 7 years. It's bittersweet. UNRWA has been the lifeline for Palestine refugees. And, this season, we're asking you to be a lifeline for families in need. As you can imagine, folks have a lot of struggle with hunger in Gaza, in Lebanon. And, we want to be a positive response this holiday season. And, we look forward to telling you some of those stories and sharing some more updates on this.
Yeah. So I guess if we can pull up a picture right now, and Lebanon definitely has a serious problem with hunger. Right now we're looking at this young guy, Mustafa. He's feeding a falafel to his sister Victoria in Gaza. It's common for us to think of Gaza as worthy of attention as soon as the bombs are falling. But although the bombs over Gaza have stopped, I'm sure many of you know, the blockade hasn't. Gaza's food crisis is worse than ever. And with soaring unemployment and prices, 6 out of 10 Palestine refugees in Gaza today struggle daily to put food on their table.
Yeah, so true. It used to be really like food insecurity. Now we're talking about hunger every day and, inflation in Israel, where, prices of food are just insane right now. So, that's where you come in, right? We do have a great program. So I hope you stick around and enjoy what we have to share with you today. But, Palestine refugee kids like Mustafa count on your support through UNRWA and through the food assistance program. They will get flour, chickpeas, and all these things go into the falafel sandwich so that Mustafa and his sister can grow and be happy and healthy. And we have a simple ask of you today.
Yes. So in addition to the continuing fundraising we'll do for other zones that are experiencing this price wave, including Lebanon, our goal this special afternoon is to bring 6 months of food assistance to 25 refugee families in Gaza. So for tonight, we need 25 big-hearted supporters right now to join us as solidarity sustainers of UNRWA USA. And you can do that by giving as little as $20 monthly to refugees in the link to the side.
Yes, and this is such a good way to help, and it's a safe and secure giving. You could also change it anytime. We want to make sure we're sustainable and the programs we run for refugees are sustainable. And Nahid, since it's the holiday spirit, we have a special gift to sweeten the deal, right?
We do indeed. We do indeed. Or something to oil the deal even. I had to say it. I know you guys hate it.
I know you had to go there.
I had to go there. It's the oil. Okay, so there's this amazing Palestinian food basket. If you join us as a Solidarity Sustainer, you get these goodies from Al-Ard. You've got the opportunity here to support refugees while also supporting resilient Palestinian farmers and families in the West Bank. And these amazing little tastes of Palestine these items will begin shipping as early as tomorrow. So if you become a Solidarity Sustainer, you get this fabulous and delicious gift for that one family member or friend who is hard to shop for.
Great. Yeah. So our product is, most of the farmers they work with around Jenin and Nablus. It's a company owned by Al-Anabtawi family. They're a well-known brand. They also make sweets. So they're put together this bundle exclusive for UNRWA USA supporters. So today, if we get 25 Solidarity Sustainers, that's you, that's another person signing up to become a Solidarity Sustainer, it would mean really reach a milestone for UNRWA USA. So by signing up and taking up on this offer, opening your big heart, be generous, and head to the link on the screen. And if you happen to be already a monthly donor, please consider giving a special gift and email us if you still want a food basket. Would love to send you one and bring some joy, Palestinian goods from Palestine to your belly. This will really take 30 seconds. So if you're ready, we're going to pause right now to invite you to that. Yalla. So let's just give you 30 seconds. And Nahid?
Sure.
Do we have the link?
Yeah, it's there. That's 30 seconds. Any progress?
Let's give 20 seconds more.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna really celebrate the first person that comes in. All right, I do see Martin.
Shout out Martin.
Yes, Martin came through. So, we'll keep an eye out. If you want us to shout out your name, I see you, I hear you. I appreciate your support and solidarity. Be like Martin, and the food basket is coming your way. So with that, I'll be watching, guys, and I appreciate your support. Thank you. Take it away, Layla.
Yeah, and shout out to Laura as well.
All right, guys, I'm back. Thank you so much. I would love to know in the comments if you've made your if you signed up as a Solidarity Sustainer, or if you plan to sign up as a Solidarity Sustainer, or whatever your plans are to help refugees this Christmas and holiday season. So soon you will hear from our 6 beloved Palestinian chefs and food bloggers who are the stars of today's show. I see over 100 of you are waiting to hear from them, and they're going to walk us through how to make your favorite Palestinian dishes. In order of appearance, I would like to introduce Maha Kailani from Canada, Johnny Dubbaneh from the famous Z&Z Manouche Bakery here in Maryland, just across the river from where I am in Virginia, Izzeldin Bukhari from Sacred Cuisine, live all the way from Jerusalem, Palestine. Chef Marcelle Afram from Shababi Kitchen in DC. Mai Kakish from Almond and Fig in Chicago and co-founder of April is for Arab Food. And the very dedicated Suzanne Husseini, who normally lives in Canada, but is coming to us live from Abu Dhabi. It's after midnight for 2 of our chefs today. If that isn't dedication, I don't know what is. So please match their dedication with your generous support and donations. And now it's your chance to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. In about 30 to 40 minutes, we'll have the chance for some rapid fire questions with any chefs that remain. It's your chance to interact live with our guest presenters, and you will hear more live music. So stick around. And coming up first, we have Maha. Let's see. I'll bring Maha to the stage. Hey, Maha and your daughter. Welcome. I'm going to hop off and let you take it away.
My name is Maha Kailani, and I have a special chef, my little sous chef with me. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sophia, and I'm so glad to raise money for Palestinian refugees.
That's awesome, yes, because your mom was one time a Palestinian refugee, so I'm so happy to bring her a part of this, to be a part of this program, this campaign. I'm based out of London, Ontario, and just a little bit about what I do. I'm on social media platforms that focuses mainly on easier Arabi food, the ones that I kind of grew up with, but also bits and pieces of other food that I also grew up with here in Canada. But today we are making Sahlab. And what's Sahlab? It is a thickened, creamy, hot drink that is made of what I made it today. It's made out of whole milk, and it's thickened with cornstarch. So normally traditionally it's thickened with a starch from the orchid plant when I did my research on this drink. And it's not as readily available to us here where I live. So what normally people do to thicken this creamy hot drink is cornstarch. So how to make it super simple. Over here, I have a pot. It's actually all ready to go. So the recipe for this is for 1 cup of whole milk, I add about a tablespoon of cornstarch, and you mix it on the stove cold, and then you turn on the heat. You need to make sure that the cornstarch kind of melts through before you turn on the heat. And I add in sugar kind of to what I like for about 3 cups of milk. I do about like a third cup of just regular granulated sugar. And that's, like I said, ready to go. How you flavor it is the fun part. You can go many different ways. You can do rose water. You can do orange blossom water, and it has a whole bunch of fun toppings that I remember when I was little, I used to use a spoon to kind of like scoop up all of the toppings and just kind of eat it first. And then I would finish off the drink. So it's a lot of fun. Kids love this drink. This drink is sold on the streets of Palestine, just from vendors on carts to the side. It's very popular during the winter, and I'm so happy to share this with you. So let's first flavor it. Usually I like to go with orange blossom water just because it's a little bit less distinctive in taste than rose water. Do you want to mix that in? Whoops. Okay. And my favorite part about Sahlab is the flavoring of mystica. It's called mastic in English. It's like these little clear balls. And I have a little bit of granulated sugar here in my mortar and pestle. We're just going to crush it. It becomes gummy, so it needs that sugar to help it not be gummy. Do you want to crush that? Move this. Yeah, and just go like that. Perfect. And do you want to put it in halib? Bismillah. Okay, and use the whisk to mix in with the halib. Perfect. And that's how you flavor Sahlab. If you don't have any of these things on hand, vanilla works just as well. Here is the even funner part. We are going to get a ladle. I hope I don't make a mess. Bismillah. And look how creamy, and it's just slightly thickened. Okay. And that cup will be for you to garnish and decorate how you like. And then this one will be for Mama. that. Beautiful. Okay. Now for the garnishes. We have some crushed pistachio. What do you have here?
And some coconut.
Coconut. And we have some
Cinnamon.
cinnamon. I put it in this little tea ball strainer thing. Okay, so you can decorate yours and I'll decorate mine. I'm going to start with some cinnamon. I'm going to put cinnamon on yours too.
Not right now.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I'll put some coconut. And this is just unsweetened shredded coconut here. I like to put a little bit. This is such a fun thing to do with kids on a cold night in the winter. Make sahlab, get all the toppings out, and just go to town. Decorate it how you like. Put some fusta. And for fun, a whole cinnamon stick. I'll actually break this. Here. You can have this. Put it like that. And that's it. This is our cup of sahlab. It's a little treat in a cup. I love it. Something that I grew up on. I absolutely love the flavors. Here's a spoon. Here's the coconut spoon. You want more fusta? Okay. Can't go wrong with more pistachio. And that's it. And how fun is this drink? It's so creamy, full of flavor from the mastica and the orange blossom or rosewater or vanilla, whatever you choose. And the toppings are just so fun. These are just my favorite toppings. Cinnamon, coconut, and fusta. Bismillah. صحتين. So good. Like my favorite wintertime treat. Could be messy though. Do you want to use a spoon and scoop up the toppings? No. Okay, that's it for us. Try this amazing treat. It takes no time at all to put together. All you need are 3 main ingredients: whole milk, cornstarch, and sugar, and play around with the flavors how you like.
Hey guys, hey Maha, that was amazing. Sahlab is delicious and super warm this time of year. I wish I had some myself right now. I thank UNRWA and everyone for joining today, putting on these efforts. I'm Johnny, based out of Washington, D.C. area. And me and my family have a company, Z&Z. We specialize in manusha, which is amazing and delicious. And I'm not making manusha today. I want to throw a little curveball. So we're going to make Muhammara, which is this super delicious dip. It's warm, got some smokiness to it, savory, slightly sweet from the pomegranate molasses. And I have a mise-en plus. My dad has it tatted on himself. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have our roasted red peppers. You can roast them yourselves. They're best over open fire because then you get a nice char. But if you want the easy route, you can buy pre-roasted. Some pomegranate, dips from man, pomegranate molasses, olive oil, roasted walnuts. You buy raw walnuts and just roast them in the oven for more depth of flavor. And then some spices. So there's some sea salt, cumin in there, and Aleppo pepper. You can also use red chili pepper flakes, but Aleppo pepper is better. And it's really simple. You just gotta throw everything in a blender and it blends up. A lot of people will add breadcrumbs to it, I believe, for thickening purposes. I don't like to add breadcrumbs, but you can do as you please. So we're going to get started. And
Hi, Johnny. You're about to blend up. I'm going to stand by. So once you start blending, I can mute you for the folks that don't want to hear the sound of the blender.
Layla just knows people want to hear her, not me.
I mean, that is, yeah, my secret mission. My secret mission is also to get all of Z&Z's secrets, which I've wanted for years. And now is finally my chance.
Yeah, there you go, Layla.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
I
so
hope your mama is in the comments. She said, relax, Johnny. Love you, mama. So even though she couldn't be with you live, she's still with us in our live program. Hi, Auntie Mona. You're the Lebanese queen. We got great comments here. We got Mara saying that you have the best menouche in the United States, arguably the world.
My teta would argue differently. Layla, she does.
I think I've had your teta's menouche too. So I don't know. Maybe we just need to all be invited to try both a Z&Z original and a teta classic at the same time, and we can have a panel of judges. I think Suzanne, Marcelle, Maha, Izzeldin, and Mai are all up for the job.
All right, so I'm about to blend it. I just threw everything in there.
Right.
Super delicious, super warm flavors around this time of the year, and a great alternative to other dips to have on your table for guests and for yourself.
All right, well, you give me the finger gun when you're done blending. I'm going to put you on mute for just a moment. Let Johnny blend up those delicious flavors. I wish I was about to eat them now. And people are going nuts in the comments. I see, oh, you know, your mom's showing me some love. Thanks, Auntie Mona. And what else do we have here? We got La Lula. That's Leah saying, woohoo, Z&Z has the best gifts for Christmas at their restaurants. Check out their retail options. You got free promoters all across this comment section. We have Jasleen, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, saying, I'm obsessed with your menouche. Hanny says we accept samples at our office. So I second that. You ready? Was that a thumbs up, I'm ready, or thumbs up for samples? Let's see. We got you back off mute. Tell us, Johnny.
That's a thumbs up. We're ready. Look how easy that was.
That was super easy. I just ran my mouth for 30 seconds, and here we have Muhammara.
All right, so I'm just showing some of the texture. It's holding.
Get you on the full screen.
Without breadcrumbs in there. So now we're going to just plate it and do some garnish. I don't know. Stainless steel is cool. Let's see if I can show the plating. All you need is some warm pita, and you can dip away at it. And again, everyone just saw how simple that was. It's a lot easier of a process than making hummus or anything else too. All right, so let's try to do some plating. If you use breadcrumbs, you can probably have it thicker, which will allow you to put a little crevice in the middle for decoration purposes. But this is it. I'm going to top it with some more pomegranate molasses, just like a little on top. Little drizzle. That's actually a lot, but whatever. And some walnuts too. All right, so that's Muhammara. So now you just need some crackers or warm pita or whatever you got in the house, and you can eat it. And that decoration doesn't look as good as I thought it would be, but it's delicious.
Voila, Johnny, that was gorgeous. You killed it. We're so lucky to have Z&Z and 1,000 of your fans in the comments. So thank you, everyone. If you're in local, like me, if you're in Virginia, DC, or Maryland, get on over to Z&Z Bakery. They didn't ask me for this promotion. It's just my shameless promotion for my favorite bakery.
They were there more than we are.
I wish I was. But in any case, we're going to toss it over to our next guest all the way from Jerusalem. Please show him love in the comments. I didn't plan to do this little intro, but I'm going to pull Johnny off. Johnny, see you later. And welcome, Izzeldin.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Izzeldin from Sacred Cuisine from Jerusalem, Palestine, Old City. And today I'm about to share with you a gift. This gift, it's musakhan, but this time it's vegan. Musakhan Somi. My company in Sacred Cuisine, I cook vegan food and vegetarian. Not to say the original musakhan is not tasty. It's delicious. It's amazing. But the vegan musakhan, it will just give opportunity for people who does not eat meat or chicken to try the musakhan. So here how I make the musakhan. I want to show you how it's rolled, but I will go through and tell you the recipe. But the reason I chose musakhan, the vegan musakhan, it's because like when I make it, it look like a Christmas for me. I'm trying to zoom in. I have over here, you know, the pomegranate. I use eggplant and mushroom and onion, almonds, parsley, pomegranate molasses. It's literally a party, and it's suit the a Christmas feast celebration. And you know, Christmas is about gifts, and I'm very happy to be part of this program, trying to help because we all, I mean, many Palestinians are refugee. My mother is a refugee, and I'm very happy to be able to support and I promise you, if you donate, I will send you the story from Sakhan. Yes, there is a story from Sakhan. It is very wonderful story, and not a lot of people know about the story from Sakhan. But if you donate today, we will make sure that we will send it to you. So please do. So in Sakhan, how I make it? I take some mushroom, I take some onion, and I take some eggplant, and I cook them with some sumac, which is the main spice of the musakhan dish. And also, I use pomegranate seeds when it's in season. And I use also pomegranate molasses. If you don't have pomegranate seeds, probably you can easily get pomegranate molasses. And I add that to the mix. Load of olive oil, load of sumac, and a bit parsley and the almond to give that a crunch. Then I roll it in a bread, what we call it a shrak. You know, bread shrak is very familiar to the tortilla, so you can basically like get a tortilla bread or anything flat, and you can roll your musakhan in. And the traditional way, you know, how we make musakhan, we can make it open face, which we don't roll it, but this is a more modern version, what we call it the rolls. It can be a very nice way to eat it because musakhan, you know, with the olive oil, it can be messy. So the rolls can be a really nice way. I prepare them as a main dish, also as an appetizer, and they work great as an appetizer, especially in the season. And as I said, look at this. This is like literally just a Christmas. And to be honest with you guys, like when you taste it, like some people, they tried it and they were like, this is vegan, does not have meat. And I'm like, yep. Absolutely not. And I think the combination of the eggplant and the onion, of course, which is the foundation, but the mushroom to give it that meaty and combination of these flavor. Of course, the sumac will do that trick, and the olive oil, which will make it very delicious. I hope you make it, and also if you donate, you will get the story and the recipe of how I make my vegan musakhan down to the T, with all the details and information. I'm very happy to be a part of this, and in Sacred Cuisine, I cook musakhan. It's one of my most popular item, and this item I'm very happy to show it for my fans and for the people, lovely people of United States, and for the people who's tuning in. But this dish also I was happy to cook in Turkey, and also to put it in different places, and even it was on the Swedish TV. So I'm happy that musakhan is taking the recognition worldwide, and it is also give opportunity for the people who does not eat meat to be able to eat the musakhan. Try it. I hope you love it, guys, and show me in the comment if you donate, and we'll make sure that we send you the recipe and the story of the musakhan. Opa, I'm still here.
You know what is, I just have to tell you, you are a magical human, and I'm so glad that you made time. For anyone who joined late, it's after midnight where is in Jerusalem, and he's had a very long day, and still he shows up every time, whether it's Ramadan and he's fasting or Christmas. Thank you for your solidarity, and thank you for being just a beautiful human. We can't wait to come to Jerusalem and to take a sacred cuisine tour. I hope you get some good rest. Everyone say goodbye to Iz and make a donation so we can send his story about musakhan to you. Thank you, Iz, and I'll take you off the screen to make it easier for you.
Yalla, salamat everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we have my hometown homie, Marcelle. Whoops. There you go. Marcelle, we have you on mute. We're going to unmute you. Give us 1 second. I don't know if it's working. Could you do it on your end? That would be great. And I am going to make myself scarce.
What an honor to follow Iz. Been following him for a long time on social media and connected that way. Finally, face to face with each other. So thank you everyone for joining us for this very important fundraiser. If you don't know, my name is Marcelle Afram. I'm here in Washington, D.C. I have a concept called Shababi, which is essentially a homage to a mashup of musakhan and the notorious chickens of the West Bank. Today, we're not making chicken. We'll be drilling carrots for jazar mahshi. So there's a lot going on, and I'm going to simplify it as much as possible. Essentially, if you aren't familiar or are familiar, we love to stuff all sorts of things in the cuisine. Here, I have some carrots. Traditionally, the carrots of the Arab world are like this beautiful red hue, which you can actually find in farmers markets. I cut them about 3 to 4 inches, and you want to make sure you have a flat surface. A trusty drill is always really great for this. Some people have, tricks as far as like soaking them and then using a squash corer. I've never really done it that way. This has been, this has worked out pretty well so far. You want to make sure you have a flat surface, your drill, nice and handy, and then it does make a mess. All right, make sure your drill is locked when you're done with that. Essentially, you're going to not go all the way through because we're going to be baking these and the filling will come out of the other side. But you're going to end up with something that looks like that. I have a bunch already done because it does take a while to do them all. And then we're going to fill it with hashwe, which is stuffing. You can really do whatever you'd like for this. Since it is a Christmas time feast, we typically do roasted leg of lamb for Christmas. So I have some of that shredded here, some rice, some sauteed onions, slivered almonds that I've toasted in the oven, some chopped parsley, some chopped dates, and a ton of spices. I'm working with cardamom, sumac, cumin, allspice, and cinnamon. To me, the cinnamon's the most important. I think it really just brings out a beautiful flavor. The combination of whatever you want to do, it's really to your liking. This is great because it's super versatile. You can go vegetarian with it if you'd like. So I'm just going to put some rice. I'm using basmati here, but the medium grain rice works really well. Also, some of the lamb. Also, if you do want to use meat, you can do ground beef or ground lamb as well. It does not have to be braised shredded lamb. Some of those caramelized onions, some almonds, parsley, some of those dates, a little bit of salt. I have these spices, cinnamon, allspice, cumin, sumac, and cardamom, which I guess I have a spoon there, but fingers work well. Pinch of everything, like my grandmother, of course. And then some olive oil, which will just help mix it up and make it a little bit easier to stuff. Mom says to use my hands for everything, so I'll use a glove. I know everybody is isn't as nervous about using their hands directly as far as, the elders of the family go. But after many years in the kitchen, I just prefer to use a glove. So that's going to be nice and mixed up. So you can see that. I'm going to stuff some of the carrots with it. You can go all the way. It's convenient to have something with like a pointy flat end to kind of push it through. You can start with your finger and you want to leave a little bit of an indentation on the top. So that's about where you want the carrots filled. And then, of course, I had to pre-cook these because they take about an hour to cook in the oven. Essentially, what you do is you layer them up, and there's multiple ways to cook this. You can do it on your stovetop. You can do it in the oven in a pot. You can do it in a pressure cooker if you have one. But I layered them up, and then I used some of the liquid from the lamb that I cooked it with and some tamarind sauce. And then you'll know that it took about an hour at 350 degrees. You'll know it's ready when you can just stick a fork in it just like that. So then what I'm going to do is plate this. Move this out of the way. And for the topping, I made a tamarind sauce, which is pretty traditional for the stuffed carrots. What I did was sauteed some onions in a pot, then a little bit of tomato paste, then some of the broth from the lamb. You can use vegetable stock, chicken stock, beef broth if you'd like. And then some tamarind sauce, which you can find at your local Arab grocer. I have this really beautiful thick glaze here that's like a little sweet and sour. I'm just going on top there. And I like to garnish it with some pickled sumac onions. A little bit of fresh herbs. I have parsley and mint over here. And then a little bit of lemonade on the side. That's how I like to eat it. And there you go. And that's your jazar mahshi. You can see that.
Marcelle, you did it again. And people are going wild asking about what size drill bit you're using, if I'm using the right terminology. There's my alarm clock to make sure we eat on time. So you were obviously under time. Bravo, like a professional chef that you are. Can you tell us the size of it?
Yeah, 3/8 drill bit.
Here, let me make it full screen so they can see.
Yeah, so it's like the largest one in my kit.
Incredible.
Yeah, the carrots that I got were pretty big. So it really all depends, right? I feel like these give the largest drill bit gives the most stability because these carrots are pretty large.
They're thick. That's amazing. So good. When I told my mom what you were making earlier, I think I told you, she's just immediately said her wrists felt like they hurt. But your wrists don't have to hurt if you grab a drill.
Morning to me downstairs drilling carrots in the kitchen. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely brilliant. We thank you so much for this demonstration. Everyone stick around to hear from Marcelle later. We're going to bring up next Mai from Almond and Fig. Welcome. And we got to get you off mute, the story of our lives. I don't know if I can hear you, though. Let's hear you. Did we lose our audio with you, Mai? I don't hear you. Do you have headphones that you're using? Perhaps they disconnected. We don't hear you, though. I can fill the time until you get that figured out, but I don't hear you yet. Mai, for everyone who is unfamiliar, which I would be very surprised if you were, is the founder of Almond and Fig. It's a website, blog, Instagram page, has the most incredible recipes, and is the most heartfelt storyteller and the most moving storyteller, I think, that I've experienced in this space. And she's also doing a little tech check because she's a tech genius Are you texting me now? Let's see. I don't know if you can hear me either. If you want, though, we could do a little switcheroo and have somebody go ahead of you. Yeah, does that sound good? All right, let's take you backstage so that you can figure out the sound. And if you are ready, dear Suzanne, waiting patiently in Abu Dhabi. Hi,
Oh,
Suzanne.
yes.
We're doing a little switch because May's audio wasn't working. So if you are ready to talk about your dish, I would love for you to take the stage.
Absolutely. Even though Anna, my dish was going to be the sweet at the end, it was the dessert. But
Right,
what's wrong with having dessert first?
There is nothing wrong with having dessert first. I'm going to take myself off screen and let you do your thing. Thank you and welcome, Suzanne.
Thank you. Here, I'm just trying to make my screen. Oh, here I am. Okay. Well, I'm Suzanne. In case you don't know me, Suzanne Husseini, and I do live in Canada. And I am Palestinian to the bone. My mother and father are both from Palestine. And nothing makes me happier than actually being involved in something so wonderful like this, an initiative to help our dear brothers and sisters and our people who are suffering. And, you know, whatever you can do to help is much appreciated. And we are here to entertain you and give you ideas and remind you how blessed we are that we're able to have all this wonderful food at our fingertips when and the people in Gaza, our families and friends are suffering, and it would be great. So my contribution here today is the dessert, and it's the infamous ma'moul. Now, ma'moul, for people who don't know, is actually a special type of cookie. I even hesitate to call it a cookie. It's a pastry. And it's basically made with a semolina that's really, really fine. And then you add into it fat. And I know that doesn't sound nice, but fat is nice. That's the flavor. And what kind of fat? You use clarified butter. It has to be clarified butter. You could switch to another butter or oil, but nothing is like the clarified butter. So basically it's that clarified butter. And then we put the flavor, or I like to do this, is I use mastic, the same mastic that Maha used for the Sahlab. It's that resin. And then also mahlab, which is the ground kernels of a specific pit of a cherry, which is called the St. Lucie cherry. Now, it gives like a little gentle almond flavor, and it's indicative of the flavor of ma'moul. Now, as far as Christmas goes, there can't be Christmas without ma'moul, and the same thing for Easter. And also it is shared with Muslims as well, who after the whole month of Ramadan fasting, this is that treat that they wait for on the very first day when they break the fast and feast. And ma'moul is the tradition. We make these beautiful pastries, and once we make the dough and it's pliable, and I wish I was able to have the dough here for you, but I'm in a hotel room right now, so I had to make do. I made these and baked them before I got here so that I can talk about it and I can show you the result. Okay, so once the dough is pliable, you have fillings like dates is classic, or pistachio nuts with a little bit of sugar, or it could be walnuts or pecans, whatever. Either of these three combinations or three fillings would go into this lovely pastry. Now, can you see, Layla? Here it is. I'm going to bring it. Hold on. Here's a whole plate full. And these traveled all the way with me from Canada. Okay. 14-hour flight to Abu Dhabi. And they're still all perfect. They're in one piece because I treated them like gold. Now, my mother, whenever, you know, her famous saying was always, العيد مش عيد تيصير في ريحة كعك بالبيت. And I will translate. Eid, or a celebration, whether it's Christmas, Easter, or Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, is not a celebration, or Eid, until the smell and the aroma of ma'moul, or ka'ak is another name for it, is filling the air. So that sort of signals the celebration. And it is worth celebrating because they are buttery and soft, and just that little delightful sweetness that's inside. And I'm going to describe them to you a little bit more. But first of all, I want to show you how we actually finish them. Now, right now they're baked and they're just lightly golden. I have a plate of the date ones, and I also have ones with pistachio and walnuts. And there is a significance actually to the shape of these. There are molds which they are traditionally used, like these. This is actually my mother. She brought this back with her to Canada from Palestine. So my mother is no longer with me, God rest her soul, but I have this mamul mold where I would put the dough inside after it's been filled, and then I tap it so that I let it drop outside, and that's how you get the imprint and the pattern that you see. Okay, you can do that. That's the easy part. And the way we used to do it as kids, okay, we used to love doing that and making noise. Or you could use this little tweezer thing that's made of brass. And you basically, if you can pretend with me, imagine that this is actually not baked and there would be no pattern on it. And you would actually take this little pincher and just pinch around and create a beautiful pattern, basically just like the mold, but it's a little bit more labor intensive. But I love doing it this way. It's fun. You feel like an artist. Like if you can't draw, but you can certainly make a kahik or a ma'mul, and you sort of let whoever is making it do their own. And every single one of them is like a snowflake. Every single one of them is different. And that's what makes them so lovely and special. Now, there's also a significance that I know from the story why these molds are shaped the way they are. And in the Christmas tradition, as I understand, the round ones are probably to symbolize the crown of thorns that was on Jesus's head. And then the one that is shaped like this is to symbolize the tomb that he was buried in. The round one, I'm not sure about, but you can create a story. If somebody must know. If anybody knows the story, share it with me, because I'm not sure about the round one and the walnuts. It could have just been an addition, but this is the way I understand it. And I also understand that in the old Arabic medieval cookbooks of long ago, and I'm dating back to the very first cookbooks in Baghdad, Iraq, there was actually a cookie that was similar to this, that was filled with lovely things. It probably would have been some kind of dried fruit, and they would actually decorate, probably using something like this, and make things like flowers and animals and different shapes. And it was called kuleja or kleja, which is interesting. And that could be the predecessor of ma'mun. So it's part of our traditions, the Arab world, and it's very much prominent in Palestine specifically. And it's interesting that in Iraq right now, they do have a certain kahik that they do with tamar, with dates, that they roll. And if you don't know the name, it's actually called kleja. So it's actually the same name. It's interesting how the stories all connect of our history, because the story is what we have. And, the story is the interesting part behind every dish we make, and especially dishes like this that are steeped in tradition. The story is just as important as the bite. Now, in this jar, I also smuggled this from Canada, and no, there's nothing awful about this. This is actually icing sugar. And what we do at the very end is, after these are baked and fully cool, okay, with my little strainer here, I'm going to put some sugar. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to make it as there. I think that's a little better. You don't need to see me. You can see the kahik. That's more important. And then all I do is actually make it snow here, okay? Right in front of your eyes. You just tap it ever so lightly with love, a little gentle touch, okay? And you're allowing all this beautiful icing sugar to fall exactly like a snowfall on the kahik or the ma'mul. And basically what it does, the sugar, in addition to adding a little bit of sweetness, because there's really no sugar in the dough, the sweetness is all from the filling. What it does is it gives it a little extra sweetness, and it makes that beautiful pattern that you worked so hard to make come out. So it really accentuates it and just makes it a really beautiful sight. And I can't think of anything that is so connected to Christmas again, and the holidays for us as Palestinians particularly, than the ma'moul. And it just wouldn't be the same without these beautiful pastries. And when I was growing up in Canada, when I was young, my mother kept all the traditions, and these were one of them, other than us making them in the kitchen together with her, and the beautiful memories that I had, that I still have, and I will never forget. And I have to make gag every Eid, every Christmas, every Easter, every occasion. I sign myself up, and I do this. And what we used to do when we were young is she'd make hundreds, literally mountains of ma'moul, and then put them in plates, wrap them up, and then we went on the journey of passing them out to our neighbors and our friends. And then, of course, people come over to see you, and this is what you serve them on Eid or the first day of Christmas. It's a treat. And during Easter, it's also the end treat after Lent. So the whole fasting of 40 days is accentuated by the very end, in that this is going to be your reward. So I'm going to put a little bit more snow on top of my pistachio ones. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to really make you suffer, and I'm going to make you watch me actually try one. Okay, here goes. So I'm going to show you just exactly how beautiful and tender they are without any resistance from me. Okay, very, very little. There's the inside. It's full of dates, and make sure that it's full. There's nothing worse than a ma'moul that's empty. And then really a cup of tea or coffee. And even though it's 2:00 in the morning here in Abu Dhabi, I'm going to treat myself and have one. It's okay. Oh. Yum. Memories. There's nothing like it.
Sahtin, yes, Suzanne. I wish I was there enjoying your beautifully baked cookies with you. Everyone is just, there's nostalgia like crazy in the comments. Sahtin, I'm sure, enjoy that bit. I want you to know that so many people are saying that they want to cry, or that this is something that just was a beautiful walk down memory lane. My own mom said that you took her back to memories of helping her mom, my tete, with the artwork of the ma'moul. And that you're a treat and so sweet. And another person said that they used to use the tweezers, and it was such a great memory. So
if I may add one thing, Layla, just in finishing, and I want to wish everyone who is celebrating and who's not. So I celebrate everything, and I love Christmas, and I wish everybody a happy, happy Christmas. And your generosity is so much appreciated at this time of the year. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart in advance for everybody who's going to reach out and help our dear brothers and sisters and people Gaza. And if you are curious and want to make ma'moul and start a new tradition with your friends or with your family, I do have, I'm going to do a little promotion here. I do have two videos that actually show you the step-by-step, everything that I said in the 5 minutes that I did, step-by-step how to do it. I have one in English and one in Arabic. So I please both sides. So if you want to give it a try, it's there on my YouTube or Instagram. You can put in the link if you like, Layla. And that's only
I'm grabbing that link right now.
Okay.
I'm grabbing that link right now, and I'm going to put it in the chat for everyone.
Excellent. And because I want people to make this and start a new tradition, start a beautiful tradition. And once you try these and you get hooked, there's just nothing. There's no cookie that matches these. Nothing. It's one of a kind, buttery and delightful.
I couldn't agree more. You are a fabulous illustrator of these moments. Like the way you're speaking, I can envision it. I can taste it. You're invoking all of my senses, and everyone is just so pleased by this demonstration. And we thank you. We hope you get some rest. If you stick around for the Q&A, faddali, but it's after 2 a.m. You all. That's that dedication of Suzanne Husseini, who's also our Hakawati. No, you look gorgeous. Also, our Hakawati, doing this from her hotel room in Abu Dhabi, where she is part of a major food event representing Palestinians. Everyone says you are now the official global ma'moul spokesperson.
And I accept that with all my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We're going to pass the mic to Mai to close us out with another sweet treat. Thank you, Suzanne, and we'll see you a little bit later.
Hi, Layla. So sorry.
Don't be sorry at all. You are worth waiting for. And, both of you are making a dessert-like dish, so it's a perfect flow. And I'm going to get off screen so that you could do your magic.
Thank you, Layla. What an honor to follow Suzanne and the rest of the chef and just to carry through Suzanne's energy with this technical difficulties. So anyway, my name is Mai. I write about Palestinian food and I share my family's recipes and stories because like Suzanne said, the stories have become as important as the recipes themselves. So today, my family, I was born in Jerusalem, in Al-Quds, and I was raised there. And throughout the month of December, or what marks the beginning of Christmas season for Palestinian Christians, is December 4th, which what we celebrate by something called Eid al-Burbara. And Burbara, or Barbara, is a saint dating back to the mid-3rd century, where she converted to Christianity and her father wanted to kill her, or she wouldn't, she wanted to kill her, so she ran away and disguised herself as a servant. And it's believed that wheat or fields of wheat grew behind her to cover her up. She eventually was killed, but then this day is to honor that saint, and it kind of marks the beginning of Christmas season for Palestinian Christians, also or Christians in Lebanon, Jordan. The story took place in modern day Lebanon. So Lebanese, Jordan, Syria, and other parts of the Arab world celebrate that December 4th. So anyway, to get to the recipe that's associated with the story and to honor that whole story of wheat, the recipe is called Burbara. For the name Saint Barbara, but or some call it Amhiya, and Amhiya, it literally translates to wheat. Wheat, and this is whole wheat, if you can see. And you could also, wheat is a long cooking. It takes a long time to cook, so you have to soak it overnight, and then the next day it would look like this, and then you would boil it for a long time. If you don't want to use whole wheat, you can use pearled or shelled wheat, and that would cut your cooking time a little bit less. So the recipe is also associated with such great memories, marking the beginning of that season. Usually the elder in the home or the chef or the cook of the household will make the recipe. In my case, it was my grandmother, my teta, and that day her whole house would be perfumed with the sweet scent of all the dried fruits that are stewing in that burbara, and also the spices that she adds. So first the wheat, and that gets boiled down with flavorings like cinnamon and star anise. But also there are intense flavors that go into this burbara that really, it's worth making because it does perfume your whole entire house. So definitely cinnamon is a must. Also fennel, and I definitely encourage you to grind your own spices for this recipe because they are the star of this porridge, if we may call it. And we said cinnamon and also anise. Grind them and just add them with the wheat that's been cooking. To flavor it, we also add dried fruits, and that would give it, you can add also sugar, but the dried fruits add a really nice level of sweetness. These are raisins, which is very traditional. Also apricots, in Arabic we call them mishmish, and those will get chopped up and added to this beautiful, let's see, I'm going to show you. Actually, good thing I switched to my phone. The angle is better. So do you see here how the fruits are super plump? The raisins are almost looking like a fruit grape, and the apricots are so plump and so good in this recipe. Traditions like this are passed down from generation to generation. And what I love so much about this tradition is that Teta, Allah yarhamha, she would get up in the morning and assemble this whole giant pot of burbara. And she would plate it in different bowls. And all the bowls would get distributed in the neighborhood and to my cousins and my brothers and whoever lives nearby. And I remember that Teta would put it for our neighbor, let's say Mjihad, and Mjihad in return, during Ramadan, she would bring back that bowl filled with atayef and other goodies. And that's the beauty of these traditions, that they are shared. Their stories and recipes that are shared with the entire community. The third best part about burbara is, I'm going to plate some here and I'm going to show you. It's eaten, it's a beautiful dessert, but also perfect as a nightcap because it's light, it's kind of filling, but it's also perfect for breakfast. It kind of is like oatmeal. So also my favorite part, they call it garnishes. I call it must ingredients, because that's a fun part. Like Maha did with Sahlab, there's always fun toppings for these desserts. This is just coconut, unsweetened coconut, because there's already sugar in the Burbara and sweet fruits. And you could do any nuts you like. I'm choosing to use blanched almonds, but you could do pistachios, pine nuts, whatever you wish. And here's two fun ones that are very, very cool. If I may say, these are chickpeas. They are candied chickpeas. They're super crunchy. The chickpea is inside. It's roasted, but they're candy coated. So these are a must if you can find them. Maybe Z and Z can carry them. So here we go. I'm going to top this with a whole bunch of these. I hid these from my kids because they would eat all of them. And then another fun one that's candies that we were raised on is these candied fennel seeds. So there's fennel, always garnished with what's in the dish. So these are candied fennel seeds. Look how pretty that is. And then use what's in season. And guess what's in season is, I love this bowl. This bowl is a pomegranate, and guess what's inside? Pomegranate. So we're going to use some pomegranate seeds to give this beautiful red color to our delicious burbara. So these, the beauty of sharing, it is super delicious burbara, but it's the act of sharing it with family, with friends, with your neighbors is the best thing about this tradition. So if you make this recipe, and I do have it on my blog, Almond and Fig, do make a batch and share it with loved ones, family and friends.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I was reading the comments and I got distracted by the fact that you had finished your demo. That was so lovely. And I have to tell you, my city was named Barbara or Burbara.
No way.
Okay. December 4, like you said. So a few days ago, my dad makes Burbara and he's watching. So now he's going to have his recipe matches with your recipe, but it's like so personal for me to see that. And just, I wish I could hug you. May and I have never met, but I am definitely, like Leah said in the comments, one of her biggest, if not greatest fan. And thank you for being with us.
I'm grateful to be here, Layla. I'm grateful for the work that UNRWA does, and it's such an honor to be among great company and to support the work that UNRWA and you guys do. It's fabulous.
We have endless appreciation for your generosity. I'm getting tripped up on my words. I'm emotional. I'm going to put you backstage before we come on for the Q&A. Everyone, let's hear it for May in the comments. Thank you. And make your own burbara. And that ends the cooking demonstration. But do not leave. May, we'll see you in just a few. Do not leave, because we have more music and you have to hear from our chefs' lives. It's your chance to interact directly with them. We answered some of your comments and questions as they were going, but we want to dig a little deeper. Bravo, bravo to our chefs. Those demos were all phenomenal, as always. My heart is absolutely warmed by your testimonies, especially on behalf of refugees. I can't wait to make some of these dishes for my family for Christmas later this month and throughout the season. These dishes could be made all year round. I also wanted to mention, before I bring up Diala on stage, that I spoke with my friend George Zaidan, one of our partners from Right to Movement Palestine, about Christmas. His family's from Bethlehem, and he said that Palestinians all around the 9 different towns, including Bethlehem, Beit Jala, and Beit Sahur, places that some of you may be from, gather annually to light the Christmas tree and announce the commencement of the holiday in their towns, with local scouts and singers who will play live for the community. And traditionally, both Christians, Muslims, and others alike travel across these towns as long as they are permitted the ability to travel. And for these tree lighting events, you probably see them on social media every year. I can't wait to experience one in person one day. But they also have pop-up Christmas markets that feature different local NGOs and community-based organizations that sell Christmas cookies, cakes, pastries, ornaments, artwork, olive wood, cheeses, breads, and wines, you name it. And so on the 24th of December, especially, and January 6th, Palestinian Christians gather with the patriarch of the Orthodox Church, and they march together towards the Church of the Nativity, which is the birthplace of Jesus. And lots of people gather for this and have a special lunch afterwards for the celebration. We want to hear what your stories are, your experiences of Christmas, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or otherwise. This is a special time for all of us to take in the spirit and generosity of the season and do more for refugees. I want to remind you that we still have food baskets for people who have not yet become Solidarity Sustainers, our monthly donors, and that every recipe you saw today will be provided to you in a digital cookbook if you donate before the show ends, and that's coming soon. So at this point, I would like to bring on Diela, our communications manager and producer of this beautiful show, and I ask her to go off mute. And please also join me and all of the other wonderful chefs for an interactive Q&A. Hi, Diela.
Hi, Leila. I have been watching since the beginning, been backstage since the beginning, and all I can say is, wow. That's the only word I can think of right now. Thank you to all our chefs and to all our supporters for making this such a great show. So before I start, I just want to say that I'm really hungry right now, and I'm very proud.
I'm so hungry too.
And I'm very proud to see the diverse options of Palestinian cuisine. And echoing Leila, I'm confident that a lot of our viewers will be incorporating dishes from today in their holiday menus and throughout the year. So I'm sure all our audiences are very curious and have many questions for our chefs, but this will be just a fun rapid fire round of questions. And is Johnny still with us?
Yeah, we got our chefs.
Johnny, I have a question for you. As most people know, a lot of individuals in the community they claim to be your #1 fans at ZNZ.
Layla's our #1. Nobody else can top her.
Wow,
I agree with you. So, Johnny, you were at the DC Gaza 5K cooking up free manaish for everyone who came. That was before my time, but I am hearing those rumors. So, can you tell us why za'atar is a brain food? Ever since I was young, my mom would tell me you have to have za'atar so you can do well in school because it makes you smart. But can you tell me your take on it?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, we did a fikra event on this. My brother Danny presented, explaining how za'atar actually makes you smarter and the science behind it. And as every Arab, we also grew up eating za'atar before exams, and we're trained to believe that it made you smarter. And maybe it did for us, maybe it didn't, I don't know. My IQ is not that great. No, I was kidding. But yeah, so there are scientific research behind it. I believe the 2 properties in the za'atar plant was like carvacol and thymol that induce some dopamine thing that helps you remember more. I forget the exact science behind it, to be honest, but Danny, my brother, knows better, and there's also a presentation about it on our YouTube channel.
Great, that's perfect, and I encourage everyone to listen to this presentation on ZNZ's website. And I believe the next question that we have coming in is for Marcelle. Leila, would you like to take that on?
Yes. Hi, Marcelle. Welcome back. You've really been a creative force in finding new ways to support UNRWA USA ever since we became acquainted a couple years ago. We became pandemic pals, I guess, from your watermelon shirts to your world famous Shababi kitchen. You really come through every season for us. And today you made jazar mahshi, for anyone who missed it. That's stuffed carrots with a tamarind sauce. And it's a comfort meal for so many families in the wintertime. And so I wanted to know the question that was posed is, what other Palestinian dishes are your Christmas must-haves, Marcelle? Do you have any dishes you'd like to talk about?
Thank you, first of all.
Of course.
That it's always so humbling. So thank you, and I feel so honored to call you a friend and be a part of this. It's meant the world to me, and really can feel the community that's around us. So it means a ton. What other dishes? As you know, as many of you know, it would be really hard to choose just one, because I think if there is ever a time in which the table has the most amount of items on it, Christmas truly tends to be one of them. I think for me, one of my favorite things is that we do a lamb roast, and I think it's interesting because I feel like there isn't a lot of meat consumption, generally speaking, right? It's the centerpiece, and everything else is vegetable based.
Yeah.
So I think one of the most fascinating things for me, especially growing up, my mom's mom lived in New Jersey, and we would, everybody would be there. I have probably about 40 first cousins on that side of my family. And we were generally probably all like between the oldest and youngest, like 18 years apart. And, all of my mom's siblings, and we would have a massive lamb roast in her backyard. And I think that for me, the lamb roast was always the most symbolic and special. And it was typically a Christmas and Easter thing, and only actually a Christmas and Easter thing,
Yeah. I share those similar memories going over to my uncle's house, and there was a lamb on the spit, and you knew that was the holiday when that was happening, right? Who can do that just on the average day in your backyard?
Right. Yeah. That'd be an interesting thing to walk by and see somebody doing as well.
Maybe that's our next collaboration, live lamb roast. Sorry, vegans. We'll do some vegan friendly alternatives.
We'll call it Iz, and Iz will do the vegan.
We'll bring Iz from Jerusalem.
Except for the centerpiece is vegan, right?
Yeah, the way I grew up, my father's vegetarian. Meat was a side dish if we had it. So I totally resonate with that. And I thank you for sharing that. And I want to know other people who tuned in later and didn't catch the beginning of our program to tell us what your favorite dishes are too. This is a fun way for us to connect culturally. And it just evokes so many emotions. And in about 6 months' time, inshallah, we're not sure exactly when, we're going to return the Gaza 5K to DC with more of a festival vibe. So there might be room for food and live music as well in person. So once we know the dates and details around that, we'll share that. Maybe that'll include some sort of lamb situation or or a visit from Suzanne.
Maybe that would be great.
Back to you, Diala.
Yeah, so actually, this is such a great segment since you're talking about how this show has been invoking a lot of emotions and memories, and I just thought of a memory myself. So this question is actually for you, Mai. So first of all, Mai has been working with us all year round. She was even a Knafe ambassador during Ramadan, and she joined us now again for my Big Fat Palestinian Christmas. So a shout out to Mai for her dedication to
anytime.
So the memory that I thought of I remembered, my parents grew up in Amman, and they would tell us stories of how their Christian neighbors would send them Burbara, and it would turn into a competition into who made it best, right? Who made the best Burbara. Right. And apparently my paternal grandfather, he would be the judge. So what is the different variations of this dish? And the reason why I thought of it is because it gives people a glimpse of our communities and how we are during these celebrations together. So can you just tell me the different variations of this dish?
You know what? It's funny. I think the basis definitely has to do with wheat, because we're celebrating this whole thing of, the wheat with, Saint Barbara, the story where, she was disguised and the wheat grew around her. In fact, the wheat, actually, I forgot to mention this, Palestinian Christians, I don't know if it's among other Christians in the Arab world, but Palestinian Christians will grow wheat in cotton, and they will wait for it to germinate, and it will take a few weeks. So by December 4th, you'll plant that in water. And then by Christmas time, you would have the wheat had germinated, and it becomes a scene for your Christmas tree. And that's kind of to symbolize. So a must ingredient is the wheat. The variation of the wheat is also important, because pearled wheat will turn a little bit creamier as it will cook faster, and it will fall a little bit apart. Wheat is kind of hard. It doesn't really fall apart like this one right here. The variation would be in the dried fruits, if any used. Also in the spices that are used. Fennel and anise is very common in my teta's kitchen, and my other grandmother, who's Armenian, but she celebrates Christmas. So we get 2 Christmases a year, which is fantastic. Then we celebrate Ramadan as well. So it's fantastic. We have holidays all year around. But so it's the candles
Palestinian of you, Mai. We celebrate everything together.
Yes, and so it's the spices that go into the burbara. It's also the type of wheat that you use and the garnishes. And I would think some people don't like, we have a debate here in Chicago all the time, cinnamon, too much cinnamon, less cinnamon. And let me tell you a secret, those Arab ladies do judge secretly, so be aware. And also, Suzanne, on your ka'ak, same thing. They will get passed around. Everybody secretly judges who has the best ka'ak.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you so much for that story and this information. I'm learning a lot myself, actually, from this.
You got to come back, Diala, to Chicago.
I want to. Mai and I are neighbors, actually, in Chicago before I moved to DC.
Yes.
I'd pass it back to you, Leila. I think the final question is for Suzanne, actually.
It is. And Suzanne, we need to take you off mute, but I have a special guest sitting next to me that wants to make an appearance and say something about Burbara. Come on in here, special guest.
Who's the special guest?
We got my dad.
Hi, Amma.
Keep Halak. I remember you. You're not going to remember me, but when I used to go to ADC multiple times, and my husband is Ahmed Husseini. I don't know if you're going to remember him. He loves you, and you know, I mean, I can't say enough how much he respects you and thinks that you are just an amazing person, and that still stands to this day. And just to see you, it just brought back all the memories.
Well, likewise, and give my regards to him.
I will indeed, for sure.
We share Niagara Falls, so
yes, indeed. Yes, we do. We'll swim over to see you. I'll bring some kayak as well.
You all did an amazing job, and obviously we're all hungry. But I can only imagine how these poor kids throughout the under camps. I mean, we say we're hungry, but it's sort of, you know, a myth. So I want to implore everyone who's watching, if you haven't already, please give as much as you can. Give until it hurts, as they say, and I think it'll come back to you manyfold. Happy Eid al-Burbara, Merry Christmas, and I can't thank you all enough for doing this. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Good to see you. So
Good to
lovely.
see all of you. Come on over. Come on over.
It's after 2 a.m. where Suzanne is in Abu Dhabi right now.
Come back and we'll all cook a meal at our house.
I would love that. That would be amazing. You know what? I know you're going to ask me a question, but it just came into my mind. What's so beautiful about Palestinians, and you know, I'm not biased or anything, you know, but I'm just going to say it, is that we have all these beautiful traditions of unity between us, where Christianity and Islam are in harmony with one another. We've always lived together harmoniously. I mean, Jesus is Palestinian. I mean, how great is that? I mean, in every sense of the word, we are the same. Our cause is the same. Our feelings are the same. Our hearts are the same. We are one, and there's no issues. And I always say that proudly whenever I'm in a situation where, you know, you see the strife and things that, you know, that are not, you know, I'm not proud to say that happen between people because their religion is this or that. But with Palestinians, it's not that at all. We've got it all figured out. And I love that. And that makes our community even more special. All the more reason that Palestine will be free, and it's coming, and it's going to be the most amazing place in the world. And we deserve it as people who rightfully own the land. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn the camera back so Pops can be on the side of the stage. And speaking of timing, I have a question related to that for you. And your Mamoul looked just like Tetes, and my mom was commenting about it, and she ran out of the room. I thought she was going to make a quick appearance, but a special shout out to you really for coming to us all the way from Abu Dhabi. And Mamoul is such a huge component of Palestinian identity and cuisine. Like you said, whether it's Easter, Eid, Christmas, making it is a communal activity where everyone in the family has a role, but it could also be quite a long process.
But so that's the beauty of it. That's the thing.
I think you're going to answer my question. I want to know if there's a hack. Is there a hack to make Mamoul faster? And it's okay if the answer is no.
Yes? No, I'm going to give you the hack, because I'll tell you something. When I first put the video out, you know, for people.
Oh no, I'm losing connection.
No.
Oh no, we're losing the hack. Suzanne, we've lost your audio. No worries, you all. If she comes back, we will get her answer. I'm so sorry about that. We kept her waiting, and the internet has decided to go to sleep. So
she said a beautiful speech.
She was so beautiful in what she had to say. So whether she answered the question now or later, it's all okay, because we got to hear directly from Suzanne and her personal message, which was so moving. And I think now, because we have 108 people still watching, and we have, you know, a little bit more left to our program, we may ask our chefs to now exit the stage so that we can continue with our fundraising and with our live music performance. But everyone, please stick around and thank them for the time that they donated, the time and talent to our organization to help raise more awareness of the situation facing refugees from Gaza to Lebanon and provide food assistance for people facing food insecurity. Suzanne, are you back?
I hope so.
Oh,
Am
yes,
I?
you're back. If you
I'm
want to
gonna
answer
talk
the
fast.
hack, you're more than
Yes.
welcome to. Please, we
I'm
lost
talking.
you when you were
Okay.
when you were speaking.
I'm going to talk fast. I'm going to get
Yeah,
through
please,
it.
go
The
for it.
number one problem when I put my video up is everybody traditionally, ask your mom, when they mix their smeed with their semni, you know, the two components, they're all under the impression that you have to leave this to soak up for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours.
Yeah.
Insanity. Why? I make it on the same day that I'm going to bake it. I basically mix the butter and the smeed together, and the only time it waits, and I put the milk in and everything, you know, the whole thing till it becomes dough, cover it, and then I start working on my fillings and I start baking. And that's it. None of this 48 hours, 72 hours thing. Now, time consumption when it comes to pattern and you know, that's, you know, time consuming. But this is a loving tradition that is worth the trouble. And it's not something that you do every single day. It's so much part of the holidays. So it's okay. It's love, right? Cooking is loving. And it's something that you would do and create as a memory and a tradition. And that's sort of when the traditions come alive, right? During the holidays. So that's my hack. Don't soak your smeed for 48 hours and don't do it for 72 either. Okay? Mix and bake.
Allah yatik al-afiyah. Thank you so much. And you know what? I'm the type of person when people say, oh, what a kusa, it takes so much time. I find it really cathartic. I like doing it. So invite me to do it with any of you, and I'm down to roll up my sleeves. Chef, do you have any last words before we invite our fundraising squad back on screen? You're on mute, but if there's anything else you want to say, great. And if not, we're going to kick it to the next program before everyone needs to go.
Okay, kisses to everybody.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy time with your families. And I'm so honored to meet all of you. And I hope one day we will meet together, break bread around a table together.
We absolutely will. Thank you so much. And I hope you get some rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marcelle. Thank you, May. Thank you, Johnny.
Bye, Johnny. Bye, May.
Okay, we have our next segment coming up. Diala, thank you also to you. And we're going to bring back Hani.
Reminder, Layla, a reminder
Yes,
that
ma'am. Please tell us.
If people donate before the show ends, I will personally send you a digital cookbook with all the recipes from today's food demo. So keep that in mind.
I thank you so much, Diala, for that reminder. It is critical for everyone watching and who wants those recipes. As soon as we gather them up and you make that donation today, meaning December 7, for anyone watching the replay, those recipes are yours. Hani, welcome, welcome, welcome. Diala and I are going to go backstage and let you all do your thing.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. What an amazing show, Nahid. I love this. It's not just the food, it's the people, it's the energy. I love how Suzanne talks, right? She's like the spokesperson, the global spokesperson for Ma'mool now. I feel, she's earned that title. I just, Marcelle, I can never say enough love for this guy. He supports the work in more creative ways than I care to count, just always being there. Mai with her suave and with her, promotion of Arab cuisine and all the amazing chefs that I'll fail to mention now, but I'm just really like at awe of all of you. So thank you. And not just that, you've seen the fundraising, right? You've seen the people taking the commitment, people who are getting in that Christmas spirit and giving spirit. We've been looking at these donations and we're like, wow, this is such a treat. People are signing up, they're giving these commitments. And, we've asked for 25 refugees, families in Gaza to be supported, and you've delivered that. Now we have a stretch goal. We want to get to 30 families helped. And I think we can get there since there is momentum. Nahid, what do you think? What are we doing? You've seen all these amazing people signing up. Well,
yeah,
how can we get to there?
We've seen some amazing stuff, and I'm so glad you said that. I think it's time we think about 30 because we are getting so close to this, if we
I
were
mean,
to
seriously,
30,
Summer,
that's,
Nabil,
30 monthly solidarity
Maha.
sustainers. What was that? I'm sorry.
Sorry, you've had Maha, you have Nabil, Nikando, Jenny, Virginia, a lot of people, and many people of,
A lot
different
of fantastic
backgrounds.
people. Yeah, a lot of fantastic people to thank. And I have a
Yeah.
really great feeling that together we can bring 6 months of food assistance right now to 30 refugee families in Gaza. But the thing is, we need you. So take 30 seconds now, if you can, go to UNRWAUSA.org/Christmas and give a small and easy gift. Even the smallest contribution, the cost of a night out, can uplift a family in Gaza for an entire month.
And just a reminder for folks who want the food basket, it is for solidarity sustainers. That's the limitation with that. And I've seen people give generous amount one time, and that's okay. And before we really kick off this, I want to just give a quick shout out for Layla, our colleague. She's done a wonderful job. She's always our rock with these programs. So let her know how much you love and appreciate her in the comments. And keep it going. We're gonna get to 30. We gotta get to 30. Ahlan Layla. Sorry, I'm looking at the script here. I should be looking at camera. Mashallah alayki. You're doing a great job, and you picked a great lineup, you and Diala. So we're very proud of this. Nahed, what can we do to get to 30? What are you offering now?
Yeah, well, for us to get to 30, and yes, massive shout out Leila and Diala. I think we're gonna get to 30 by going to the website and thinking about that free Palestinian food basket that you might be able to achieve. So at as little as $20 monthly, you can earn this delicious basket from Al-Ard. And they're running out, so I would really recommend it. Yeah, there it is. Amazing.
Yeah, you get olives, you get za'atar, you get olive oil, you get tahini. It's pretty nice. Makes a nice gift. Comes in a nice bag. And before I go and let Nahed do his magic, I want to also shout out for those who watched the World Cup. Morocco is doing good this Saturday, everyone. I want to especially congratulate our executive director, Mara, whose in-laws and family is in Morocco. So you can imagine the festivities in their household. And I can't remember how proud I am of these guys and how they play. And, not just that, and how they help us heal our colonial trauma by these wins. So with that, become a monthly donor, give us as little as $20, and we would really match your generosity with a gift that will be memorable. And Nahed, take it away.
I will pass on to Leila.
Great.
Yeah, my dear colleagues just shared with you all the ways that you can be a lifeline for Palestine this month. So please come through with your donations. Every dollar counts, and really it all adds up. Don't be shy. Even if you just have $5 to give the $5, because if hundreds of people do that, we will be in a much better position to provide assistance to refugees. So everyone, again, if you give today, you get the exclusive recipes from the show, courtesy of our chefs, today's recipes. And you saw it. We had Sahlab, Jazar Mahshi, we had vegan musakhan, we had Burbara, we had Ma'moul. We had a beautiful display of food, and all of that can be yours. And these chefs have really fine-tuned their recipes to be the best possible. And like Nahed said, if you give a gift of 20 or more monthly, that's our Solidarity Sustainers program, we'll give you that free food basket from Al-Ard, from Palestine to your belly. I want to say Al Shukr also. 1,000 thanks for anyone who doesn't speak Arabic like me, to all our chefs for donating their time and their talent, all of you generous supporters and beloved viewers. We're not ending yet, so don't leave. And shout out to the entire UNRWA USA team, the people you didn't see, Mara, who was on earlier in the program, Zaina, who was watching from the doctor's office, she's under the weather, and Harley, our beloved colleague, whose last day with our organization is on Friday. We will miss her tremendously, and we want to see all your love for her there. And most importantly, the Palestine refugees we exist to serve, our UNRWA colleagues in the Middle East, most of whom are refugees themselves, carrying out life-changing UNRWA programs under the most challenging of circumstances, from Lebanon to Gaza. And now, to close us out, as we've alluded, Nahed will be playing once more Arab Christmas tunes, and rumor has it he won't stop playing until we reach our stretch goal, right?
So that's when you wear your musician hat, right? So do you have a musician hat and a fundraiser hat?
It's called my brain. Yeah. I'm absolutely going to play until we reach our goal of 30 Solidarity Sustainers, our stretch goal. So if we can reach that within 10 minutes of my playing, that's the hope.
Amazing. Hani, can I ask you to keep track of those donations?
Yes, I'm keeping an eye. I'm keeping an eye out for this.
Diala
And a
back
shout
on
out.
screen.
Sorry.
Oh, please go for it.
A shout out for our colleague Jason, who's watching with
Jason,
his
I'm sorry, I forgot
family in
Jason.
Tennessee. So he's, he's one of
Jason.
the great ones.
Please forgive me, Jason. You know I love you, and I'm sure he's especially excited about the vegan options that were made today, the vegan musakhan. We should make that for you as an apology for me not saying your name earlier. Thank you, Hani, for reminding me. Diala, are you ready to come on too so you can monitor the request? Okay, we got Diala here. We're going to change it up so that Nahid is our main person here on the screen. And I will be just kind of hanging out in the background. And hit it, Nahid.
Let's go.
Remember, Nahid just challenged us if we get more donations in the next 10 minutes while he's playing.
Glenn just gave a gift. Tony, Mona, good people. Jihan, thank you so much. You know, you guys are rising to the moment. So please, I'm gonna stop talking now.
Make a monthly gift of 20 or more. How are we going with the donations?
Oh my God. Hani, where are we at?
We need one more plan to hit 30, to support 30 families. So one more plan, guys. And you hear Tony. See Tony in the comment? He's going at it. So please support this work. And if we take a request, I'd love some Fairuz. I'd love, Nahid,
Yeah.
We're so close, guys. This is amazing. This is really great. Nahid, I'm back to
love.
How are we doing?
I love that casual just, oh, I just played a masterpiece. How are we doing? Oh my gosh. How are we doing, Hanny?
We're good. We're good, guys. We're good. We still have that one. I see Anonymous come through. Actually, can we do a big send off with, I don't know what your plan had, but this is really, that's my request. It's on the
I
screen.
heard a
Last
lover for
request, a lover from
Palestine.
Palestine.
That's the
Solid
original piece.
original.
All right.
Guys, this is such a good piece. I just love it. The emotions in that track, and I'll stop.
Well,
I will play it
no.
if we get one more person.
Do you want to wait? We can wait.
Okay, one more person.
All right.
One more person, guys. I'll keep an eye out. I wish I could share my screen with you and show you what we're looking at.
You can if you want to. Send me the link. I'll share the screen. What a treat. You all should be paying. We all should be paying hundreds of dollars to see this
you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Nahid, it seems you did it. Hani tipped his hat to you. We are coming up on our time for the end of our program. Sadly, this was so fun. I want to hear in the comments if you all had a good time. You know, it's been a very hard year for Palestinians and especially the refugees bearing the brunt of this. But we wanted to bring some joy into your life and a reason to feel merry and inspire you to give as generously as you can as we close out 2022. I know from the comments that we've reached our goal, so we want to give a huge shout out to Ahmed and to Rima, but we want to keep it going. That was the goal just for this event, but it is not our goal for the rest of the year. Correct, Nahid and Hani? We have a long way to go to close out 2022 on a strong note for refugees. And when we go to the field next year, when we're in Gaza and the other places that we travel to, we want to be able to tell refugees how much Americans showed up for them in this final few days of 2022. Hani, do you want to say anything before I close us out?
Just want to say, celebrate this moment. We've had a good time. We've delivered on our goal for today. So thank you, guys. This has been really uplifting for us as we face into fear and all those solicitations. And I hope we do not annoy you with emails. So if I do, I'm sorry in advance. So would love to hear more from you. And thank you for your support. Keep it going. If you find in your heart to share this message or the video with somebody in your family, know that something good will come off it. So thank you. And really thank you for showing up. This is from me and on behalf of the development team.
Thank you so much. Thank you to every single member of my team that is here and all of you who stuck around. Still 70 of you have stayed with us for an hour and 49 minutes. I'm really moved by that. And I'm continuously moved by Nahid's playing and all of your commitment to the cause. Thank you, Nahid, Yala, Hani, and all of our team, including and especially Jason. Shout out. My sincere thanks again to all our chefs, our donors, our viewers. Stay up to date with our work by following UNRWA USA. Don't forget the USA part. There's UNRWA, the UN agency, and there's UNRWA USA, our nonprofit, which is the tax-deductible entity in which you're donating through today. And we are the ones that produce events for you here in the States and virtual events like this one. And we really want you to be connected with us, to hear the stories and to listen to the voices of refugees, which we amplify continuously on our platforms. Thank you again for showing Palestine refugees that Americans do truly care. That's our show for today, folks. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Until next time. And use that link to keep donating. Yalla, bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.